Welcome back, YouTube family. Welcome to another episode of your favorite online YouTube show, The Get Through Show. The show where we are always real, 110%, 120, 200%. So guys, welcome to another episode. I believe that you're ready to grab your cup, your popcorn, your juice, your water, and your blanket. It's about to be cheesy. Today, the topic is, do citizen and non-citizen in South Africa have the same rights? Do citizens and non-citizens in this country, South Africa, have the same right? And today, I have a guest in the building. Before I let the cat out of the bag, don't touch that dial. I'll see you guys in the jiffy. So guys, here we are. Welcome back. My squad are already seated. My guest also is seated. So guys, today, let me introduce my guest to you first. See how beautiful my guest look? She's so beautiful in her suit. So guys, my guest name is Sibongile. Sibongile means thank you. So Sibongile, you're welcome to, Advocate Sibongile. So you need to, let's put that out there on period. So Advocate Sibongile in the building, guys. And on my far left, it's your boy Victor Chibuzo. And on my immediate second far left or beside or in the middle of Chibuzo and Advocate, it's your boy Ori, Young Mandela. And guys, of course, it's your host Olatunji David. So guys, today's topic, do citizens and non-citizens of this country, South Africa, have the same rights? Advocate.
I think.
What does the law say?
I think I'll just give a broad statement in terms of what the law says, and it's found in Section 9 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, where it says that everyone is equal before the law, and everyone is to be treated equally. Every human being, in fact, should be treated equally. So there is no discrimination. If you are in South Africa, there is no discrimination. Everyone is innocent until they are proven guilty. And that's just the bar in terms of criminal matters and so on. If you find yourself on the other side of the law, you're treated equally, you're innocent until you are proven guilty. You're a human being, you're afforded the same human rights. The same human rights that a citizen has is the same human rights that a non-citizen has or a non-national. So it's more of a general statement to say that everyone is treated equally. But then obviously there are certain things that citizens do and certain things that non-citizens don't do. For example, the right to vote. That's the one that I can just think of at the top of my head. But if you're a non-citizen, you've got a right to purchase property, you've got a right to get married, you've got a right to have children, and I know that you've got access to health care as well. And I think that's the most amazing part, where South Africa does not discriminate in terms of who can go to a maternity ward and give birth to a baby. It's for everyone, So just generally, everyone has equal rights, but I mean, it can be debated, or maybe it is controversial, maybe if a person can draw from their own experiences with certain situations. But I think South Africa in particular, when I look at South Africa in terms of the entire globe or the world, I feel like South Africa is much more inviting. It's such a dynamic population, such a cosmopolitan population, where a person can come from any part of the world and can come and stay in South Africa, and they can flourish. They can flourish. They can be successful business people. They can have families. So I feel like South Africa, what Nelson Mandela had said, and how the borders were opened to the rest of the African continent, and so on and so forth. Never mind the issues that we've heard on the media, the recent attacks that were happening, xenophobia, and all those things. But we condemn those things in the strongest of words, and actions. But just generally speaking, as far as the law is concerned, the law is equal to everyone who resides in the motherland.
Advocate, those were, yeah. So those were actually, those were strong words. When you say the right, so I just want to ask you this. So now, does that right also translate to? There are certain things that in this country that, because I hear what you just said now, but now if we say treated equally, and there are certain things in this country that an ID holder can do besides voting that a non-ID holder cannot do, even if the person is legally is legal in the country in terms of he has a permit, he has a visa. So is like is the right bracket in a way, or there are things that, or is this just like, or of course beside voting part, like I mentioned. So when you say right, so in terms of now, there are things that if you're not an ID holder, you cannot do in this country.
Yes, like
Now, okay.
You must remember also, it's illegal to have dual citizenship. You must remember, I mean, you
Not
must.
even illegal.
I'm confused.
If you have dual citizenship, it becomes a problem. If you're going to have citizenship rights here in South Africa, and it means that you can get a SASSA payout at the end of the month, while you're getting another SASSA payout in the UK, for example. That's where dual citizenship becomes a bit of a problem and murky.
So they have to
Yeah.
be announced from their country
Yes,
where there is.
you need to have one citizenship.
Okay. Okay. So, but now, my thing is, yeah, of course. But then, you, like you said, I'm hearing it from you for the first time that South Africa is more welcoming than some part of the world. That I find that weird, and this is why, just from my own experience, putting it into a perspective of a foreigner that comes into South Africa that has spent over a decade, that's 10 years, it's even struggling to get an ID or a citizen or a permanent resident of South Africa, without a criminal of South Africa. And you take also a guy that travels to America, United States of America, in 5 years, and is being given his citizenship. Now, that's number one. I want you to keep that also. Secondly, the amount of foreigners that are working in America, in the UK, it's not the same amount of foreigners who are given the privilege to work in South Africa because they don't have the what do you call the opportunities are limited to the foreigners in South Africa than it is in the United States of America or in the United Kingdom. So I want you to buttress that and make it clear for us.
Yeah, I think I can only speak from what I'm not speaking from a point where I have done research on this, but I'm speaking from a point where it's my opinion. As far as South Africa is concerned, what I'm noticing is that there is a resource problem. There is an unemployment problem.
It's very high. Okay.
So unemployment is very high. There's a scarcity of opportunities. You understand? So I think the reason why we might be having experiences of that nature is because you find that the citizens themselves, they are without
Job.
Then you have 50 people who are looking for this opportunity, and then you have non-citizens who are 50 who are also looking for this opportunity. Then it's 100 people, and then you have 20 opportunities,
And it's
and you
fair
have 100 people.
And it's fair
Yeah,
enough.
Bona, and then I think that's
Of course, and
where.
it's fair enough that the government will always prioritize our citizens first.
And maybe in the UK and in America, maybe there's
No, of
more
course, no, like,
opportunities if
so
you
much-
are.
You made
if,
so much. I see your point.
If
like,
you are comparing,
you made so much
because
sense.
that's the first world
You made
country,
so much sense.
and this is a third
you
world
made so much
African
sense. Yeah,
country.
now it makes sense.
So we,
It makes
you know,
sense. Yeah,
I
and
think
now-
maybe that's what we are confronted
Confronted,
with, is because we don't have enough opportunities for everyone.
Okay, advocate, I would like to ask this, right? Like in Nigeria, I will just use Africa. I don't want to use America or UK because,
Yeah.
like here in South Africa, I don't see much foreigner in the media space, like radio and all those things. Even if they are foreigner, they have to be like from Mozambique or all those Southern Africa. But you don't see people from other West Africa. For example, if I can give you this example, Vimbai, she's from Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And ever she got out from Big Brother Africa, she has been working in Nigeria, in a television station, in a radio station, you know, and
She's
we've...
from Mozambique.
She's from Zimbabwe. We've also seen some South African ladies
Yeah.
that are working in radio station in Nigeria. Yes, more than 2, 3, 4, 5 that I've seen, you understand? But in South Africa here, we don't see such thing. What do you think we can do to change that narrative?
Ori, I think she mentioned the first that the opportunities are not. Look, Nigerian market is bigger than South Africa.
Yeah.
The population is bigger than South Africa. So, and she said earlier that the resources, like where to fix these people, is tighter, unlike in Nigeria. Meaning, now she made an example that imagine a position in a radio station whereby you have 50 South Africans qualified, you have 50 Nigerians or foreigners qualified, and the radio station only wants 5 people. Obviously, to be fair, in all honesty, the government are going to prioritize our citizens first.
And they don't even meet the threshold even for those citizens. Because, you know, people are still sitting at home. They are not even making it for them. But I hear your point, though. I like what you are raising. I feel like it's something that needs to be addressed. I feel like even though I have provided that explanation, I still feel like there needs to be something, you know, that balances the scales somehow. You know, because I like listening to radio, to Metro FM. What's this guy's name? Tibo Touch. That guy travels throughout Africa. He goes to Tanzania, he goes to Nigeria. He's got friends throughout the African continent, and he likes interviewing them, you know, on his show. So he would call them up. I mean, his show is during the day from 3 to 6, and he will call his friend from maybe a music artist or whatever, DJ, and he would call them up and he would interview them over the radio. But I'm like, if he can call them to interview them on the radio, then for sure we can have, you know, like he says, a non-citizen person working on the media. But SABC, NCA, I think there are non-nationals working there.
No, but they are not African. They are not. Sorry, because a guy is in SABC who is an Indian.
No, there are
Yeah,
black
I know-
Africans.
yeah.
There are black Africans in.
Like from Congo,
yeah,
Nigeria.
you must check
No, we've never
NCA
seen-
and
we've never seen it.
maybe Congolese or maybe.
Mm, I also have this question, like, okay, I know government are trying so much to fight this xenophobic attack and all these things, but you find out that mostly the people that are mostly attacked are the people who are really working hard. They go to their shop, they burn them, they do so many things to them, and those people are the real people that are really working hard. What do you think that the government can do to change those things? Because when you look at people from
Like the Somalian shops, like in the townships.
yes, those are the people that suffer most. Yes, you find out that because
Even Nigerian shops.
Yes, that
Not only Somalians.
because
Nigerians are in this country with those Somalian shops too.
because you
Yeah,
hear, like,
a lot of them.
are here to take our jobs. Like sometimes I wonder, what are the jobs are they taking? Because like me now, I sell Nigerian foods, like the raw Nigerian food, right? So, and you see a lot of Nigerians is either they are doing a hairdresser, a nail, manicure and pedicure, and all those things. So when you hear like they are coming to this country to take our job, I've never seen a Nigerian or anybody from West Africa to work at the bank before. I've never seen. Maybe they are nurses. Yes, fine. Maybe they are doctors.
No, in the doctors, not even nurse.
Doctors.
Not even nurse, doctor. Yes, yeah.
For them to be working at the bank.
No. We've never doctors more because of course Nigeria. There are a lot of Nigerian doctors in Somerset, for example, because they need them. Yeah, in this government hospital because they need them.
I've never seen Nigerians working at the bank or in those kind of places. But at the end of the day, you hear people outside.
It's difficult to see even black citizens in the Discam pharmacies. I mean, it was recently on the news. Recently, there's a problem with that.
So that's
And also, while you're asking that, also, advocate, I want you to, because it's more like a one stone can kill two birds. So, you know, what Ori just mentioned now that, you know, this xenophobic thing. One of the reasons why I condemn it, why I think is personal, is because, now, let's go to the GDP of the country. Let's go to the most people who invest more in the countries. Now, I can, you know, I don't have to go there. I don't have to mention names, but I can tell you there are a lot of organizations, fast food, restaurants that are owned by Italians, owned by Turkish people, owned by Indians, owned by Chinese. Now, why are these same people not going to Dudula?
They don't attack them.
They don't attack those places. Okay. So now my point is, so if you're saying the people are taking your job, so if we should start from there, those are the people taking your job first. So if it's what affects the what do you call? So the same attack that you are attacking the people in your rural or local area and all of that, carry the same attack to those Italian restaurants too and go burn them down.
Okay, guys, you know, I haven't said anything.
She hasn't answered the question. Let her answer the question and then we'll come to you.
Can I put more to that so that she answer it? Because it's similar to what, because let's not bridge it. I'm advocate. Listen, I've come to realize that most black people here in South Africa are being brainwashed. Ask me why. They are being brainwashed by either top black officials. I've seen a postcast or something. I don't know how I'm gonna put it, but this man is actually telling the villagers, go to the shops, take everything, that is yours, the shops is yours. Listen, now it comes to what Tunji said about those Italian restaurants. Now, the people that are being attacked are the talk shops owned by foreigners. I don't know if I'm making sense now. Now, the time I watched a clip of Operation Dudula when they come here in Cape Town, the lady said something. She said they arrived, they were looking for a guest house or a hotel to check in. It happens that they got a hotel owned by a Nigerian and they have to cancel the whatever because they can't sleep in a hotel owned by a Nigerian, being a black guy. Remember, we have so many guest house hotels owned by white people. So does it mean that if it happens, because I believe other guest houses or hotels are fully booked, that's why they have that as an option. Arriving, knowing that it's owned by a black person from Nigeria, she said they won't lodge in that place. Now, the question still remains, why are they teaching? Because these things happen most in black communities. Because if I've been in colored area, they don't destroy the railways, they don't destroy the schools, they don't destroy the facilities that are close to them. You know why? Because I've seen an old colored man is saying to kids, they were throwing stones in a community church. So he was like, when you spoil it, your brothers sisters that are growing up is not going to use it. And the kids were like, okay, we are sorry for that. But now, when you go to somewhere like Kailicha, Nyanga, those places, right, you find out that they're putting shacks on a rail track. Now, remember, they will suffer it tomorrow because train is cheaper for people going to their various destinations. Now you have to use a taxi. So those things they're being manipulated by people ahead of them, people on top, because when you give them a house, it's the same person that the same government official that handed the house over will tell you that I have a buyer for you. Listen to this now. Yeah. I just want to leave it for her now. So advocate, now tell me, if you are handing over a house for someone, for the person to vacate the shack that he was staying or she was staying on, and now you as an official, you're telling this same person that you have a buyer that will buy that same place, she will still take the hockey and put it another place. Now, she's supposed to vacate the land for the government to use it to do whatever. Now, the question is, why is it only the black people that they manipulate them to attack the fellow blacks, same as what he's saying about fine restaurant owned by white people? So my question is, you as a black lady here in South Africa, why is it so? Must I say because they are not educated, or must I say because they are less privileged, or must I say that there is a certain area that are more trained than these people?
Now, I was saying, I think to try and answer the concern or the questions, why are we seeing this prevalent much more in black communities? I think if you go and you go and observe and you go and assess in the communities, in the black communities, in particular in the townships, the very first thing that will become so glaringly obvious is the level of poverty. It is shocking. I'm talking about people who are staying in shacks, people who are not working, who have no food, who have, your basic amenities, services, water, electricity. The level of poverty is shocking, guys. But I'm not saying that poverty should justify hooliganism. Because poverty shouldn't justify hooliganism, people breaking into people's shops and so on. But I think poverty, unemployment, all those issues are factors that drive people to go to the nearest Somali shop, go to the nearest Nigerian shop, go to your nearest, establishments and break those establishments. I mean, if you start comparing back in the 60s and back in the 70s, the same thing was being done by black people during apartheid. This is not the first time where you find people in the townships going to the shops and breaking shops and stealing groceries. Those things were done during the boycotts.
So it's a growing pattern.
It's a thing that was even done during the boycotts when black people were fighting apartheid.
And I feel like it's something channeled to one-sidedly.
It's a reaction to a problem. It's a reaction to a problem. It's an outcry. But it's hooliganism. It shouldn't be justified. It's wrong. I condemn it. But the reality of the situation is this. It's a reaction to a problem. Okay. And also, you touched on it, education. Those people are not educated. Our people are not educated. To say that, yes, you are angry, yes, you are hungry, but your hunger and your energies are directed at the wrong people. This is where you should direct all this energy. You angry, go to school. You angry, start a business. You angry, go to the government, go ask, So you direct all of that anger to the wrong person. But everything that they are doing, I feel like it's a reaction to a problem. I mean, I come from the townships. I grew up in Guguletu Township. I grew up in Langa Township. You know, you can come to the townships. I don't stay in the townships now, but my family stays there. And even when I go visit them and I sit with them during the weekend, they will tell me, and I ask, can I have a glass of water, cold water? And they said to me, we don't have cold water. And I said, why don't you have cold water? No, we switch off the fridge because we're trying to preserve the electricity. These are people who buy electricity for 10 rand, 20 rand, they'll go and buy. That's the reality in the townships. And I was telling my colleagues the other day, do you know that in the township, they buy electricity for 10 rand, for 20 rand, they switch off the fridge, they preserve the electricity, they don't have food in the fridge, so the fridge is wasting electricity. So those are the dynamics that you find in the townships. You understand what I'm saying? So they are reactionary. It's wrong, but they are reactionary to certain circumstances that they find themselves confronted with. You understand? But I mean, some of them, they dropped out of school because of peer pressure, or because because there was an opportunity for them to go to school, to get NSFAS, to get a bursary, to get a government bursary, to get a government loan, and to try and educate themselves. But they don't follow through with.
Advocate, I mean, sadly, right? All of that is happening.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna come back to my question and me and Ori's questions to say, clearly it's a reaction to a problem.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, why aren't we reacting to the problem into these places, these big organizations? Because until you begin to, we all condemn it, right? So it's a reaction to a problem, and a reaction needs the government to also do something, right? So cool. So now, why is the reaction not in these areas that I've mentioned?
Bro, this is the main channel too.
Yeah, that's why I said I agree with when he touched on education. There's the level. Education is very important. You'll find that we're talking about people who haven't even finished primary school. We're talking about people who haven't finished high school. And so education is very important. That's when I said this is when they misdirect anger, or they misdirect problems, and they attack people who they are not supposed to be attacking, people who will not address the problem. Because if they attack a Somali shop today, that won't address their problem. Their problem will continue.
But now remember, the same people are being channeled to where they can like pour out their anger to. If they want, they can channel them to those big restaurants. I'm telling you, it's being channeled. This is systematic. They already know where they can round around with the people. They will tell you where to go and destroy. They will tell you where to go and attack. Bro, they don't just go. If you allow them, they will burn the government. They will burn the what do you call it, the parliament or whatsoever. They know what they're doing. They channel you where to go. And the thing is, these people when they channel you, you go there with anger, knowing fully well that you got a backup.
And also, it's just. I mean, look at what was happening in Durban. The unrest in Durban. Sometimes it's not even a reaction to a problem, it's just criminal activity, where they just go in shops and they want to loot. They want to loot leather couches. Do you think that's not addressing poverty? It's just criminal acts.
Do you know why I'm going to? One of the film reason why I agree with you guys that is education. The Durban invasion was a turning point for me in terms of where the country is, where I saw a guy gone into a coffin shop.
Okay.
2 people.
Okay.
A guy went into a coffin shop to go loot a coffin.
I saw that.
I saw another guy went into a blood bank.
Okay.
That's when that was my point.
To steal blood.
Yeah, that was my turning point when I realized that where the country is. This guy, now I kept asking, I was live on live TV. I kept asking myself, somebody went into a blood bank, was bringing.
What is he going to do with the
Who is going to buy the blood from you? So you will realize that,
just
and now,
criminal.
and now,
Hooligans.
And now our problem, the problem that I have with the reason, one of the things I have with the authority is this, which I said, this man just made the word, said it's systematic. And it's poor. It's sad what we're going through right now because a lot of things look systematic, even in the first world country. Now, you realize now that, I don't know if you guys heard in the news now that there is a level 6 now, COVID-6 now is back. They said people are now getting sick. Now, the first world war country that told us that the vaccine is going to save you, now at the point they said, no, the vaccine will make you not die. No, the vaccine will lower the sickness. Now, check it this way. The government people go extreme into the nook and cranny, even use canoe on a river to go campaign in villages and mosque and go tell people, please vote for me. But when you get to this place now, it is a problem now to send people because I was listening to the president, Cyril Ramaphosa, and I kept asking myself that you come on the TV and use big English and big grammar to speak to us. The problem is really not the people with TV. The problem are with people without TV, without iPhone, without internet. When are we going to mobilize people who can go to those grassroots, start the work, and let's go talk to them and say, you know what, this. And this guy says something now that I haven't really paid attention to. It's just our own black people. I don't know how the black on black hate.
I'm telling you.
The black on black hate is a lot because he said something now that, just look at the example he gave. How many people, how many people of color is going to go vandalize an high school that the government built for you in your community, where you know that if I vandalize this place, where will my brother or where will myself also graduate from? How many people of color have you seen? Because when you check this Operation Dudula, you check this other people, you hardly see people of color among the people. So, advocate, in terms of our right, I think I can tell you that, some things are done by the book. But I think from where I'm sitting now, I think when you said, beside the voting thing, I think it's debatable to say that it's really not like that. It's really not how it is on the book. It's I can tell you there are things that, it's easier for a South African to do, but it's really expensive in terms of finance for a foreigner to do. And also, I also think, I'm also going to tell a lot of foreigners also need to study and get familiar with the information of the country, because just 2 years, a month ago, I realized that there is something called non-residential bond. I was shocked. A lot of agents are not going to tell you that. So a non-residential bond is a bond whereby a foreigner, you don't even need to have a stay, even if it is a visa you have in this country, you are allowed to buy properties with bond. And this is a first-hand legit information, whereby, but you as a non-residential person, you just need to pay, if the property is 2 million, for example, you need to pay the 50% of that property as a deposit payment. If the property is 2 million, you pay 1 million as down payment, and now your subsequent payment, installment, can even come from your country. So, given a space, and it's 20 years, imagine. 20 years. Yeah, 20 years. So, I didn't know that. A lot of people don't know that as well. But I think a lot of us need to also get familiar. Let's not listen to what one person say. Go there, ask questions, educate yourself concerning this, and realize that, if I can, if you can just actually have your business in your country and it's paying your dividend on that property for 20 years, who need 20 years to pay R1 million, 1 million rand? So from your dividends, and that's a huge benefit as a foreigner. So, but, thank you so much for, shedding a lot of light to, this thing.
Another thing that makes me to feel like, if you check in the book, there is maybe equal right for non-citizens and citizens, right? But treating fairly to foreigners is very hard for the officials, or I can say people from here, because there's something I realized, that they also treat people with color. I'm sorry to say that. If
I think that is normal.
that is normal, yes, but when it comes to the right of non-citizens and citizens, I'm trying to say,
But it's wrong.
Yeah, but there is one thing that I know about South Africa that I love your country for, is that the country unlike my country, South Africa prioritize our citizens first. And I think every country should do that. But in my country, you can come with a degree from the United States of America, an online course you did in America for 6 months, and you got a certificate. You can come and they will give a job to somebody who did an online course in America with a certificate, or like somebody that studied in Nigeria that spent 4 years. That doesn't happen here.
Sometimes 4 years is 7 years.
Sometimes it's 4 years, 7 years. So here, the city, it's clear. I think you can, if you from your first day.
but I think our people, most foreigners, they actually haven't get the knowledge of knowing they are right. Do you get what I mean? So they live with fear because they've been in another man's land. But same applies to people getting educated on a daily. You know why? It makes you to know that A is wrong, B is right. So that when you stand in front of any authority, you can be able to say, okay, I'm sorry that I know I'm wrong, than arguing when you're wrong. Do you get what I mean? So I feel like it's something that we need to be educating each other each and every day, because I've got to a point whereby I saw a few kids where I went to do a charity work in Khayelitsha, I remember, Site C to be precise, and there is kids that are using a brick to hit on an ATM that is working. I can say that either they are playing or something, but I just like, I called them, I said, do you know, your mother is going to work tomorrow? Yes. Your father is going to work tomorrow? Yes. If they want to take out money for you to buy bread tomorrow morning, where do you think they're going to get the money from? They said from the machine. I said to them, why are you hitting on the machine? Do you get what I mean?
Machine because they're hoping that money is going to come out.
Sort of. So, but now you find that like things like this are because why? Most of them are not educated. Most of them don't know what the machine is. I did explain, your mother will come here to take money for you to buy bread. And if he come and tell you the ATM is not, the machine is not working, can you remember that you're the one that spoiled it? Do you get what I mean? So those things are things that I believe that most South Africans, they lack knowledge. Sorry to say that. But when you talk sense, one thing I like about them, when you talk sense to them, it hits differently. I don't know if you get what I mean. You find out like these things that they haven't heard you somewhere else. Because everybody is doing his or her own things. Someone can see a child destroying things. He will look as if he didn't see nothing. I don't know if you get my point. But when you raise alarm, they will realize that, oh, I'm doing something wrong. Do you get what I mean?
So guys, thank you so much. Advocate, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for sharing your light and your knowledge. And, everybody should just try and do better. And also, get familiar, get educated. And, we just hope that someday we're going to see the light. So thank you so much, subscribers. Thank you so much, viewers. We really appreciate you. Thank you for sticking by us. If you have any questions, I'm sure we're going to be seeing also Advocate, from time to time when she have time. So if you have questions, you have things you want to ask, either you're a foreigner or a citizen, you have questions for the Advocate, just put it down in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and always know that we are here for you. You're there for us. We love you guys, and so we say, obrigado.